feel free to give us a call at 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com. There's all kinds of tools on there, retirement tools, kind of a safe haven community. We have clients that put on good recipes and, holiday fun stuff they're doing. So, as much as we take this retirement topic, Kim, very seriously in all these areas, we like at Haven Financial Group to have as much fun with it. If you come on in, my wife loves to decorate the Christmas trees. We're going to have a holiday client open house coming up mid-December. So as serious as these timelines are, we're going to have fun with it because you know what? We've worked all year. Why not have a little fun with a serious topic?
Boy, isn't that the truth? And, I just think that this time of year, everybody feels good. Why not make sure you make good decisions so that you can enter the new year feeling great about your retirement and about your future. Haven Financial Group, it's 612-504-8400. That's how you call and you set up that free consultation. And if anything that we're talking about today rings true with you, please feel free to give them a call, 612-504-8400. We want to talk about tax planning in your checklist. Now, Larry says that there is no great retirement plan without a tax plan. And certainly there at Haven Financial Group, they make sure that the tax plan is put into place right alongside all the rest of the planning. So at this time of year, Larry, is the most important thing when it comes to tax planning that people need to keep in mind?
Well, I'll point out, Lance Larson is our in-house CPA. He's been on the show with me a few times. He is our CPA. He's involved in these tax discussions with our investment team and myself. The timeline, fourth quarter, we've been talking about Roth conversions to make sure we don't miss that timeline, which is the end of the year, or let's just say the first half of December, to make sure that we don't look back and say, wow, we did not fill that 12% bracket up, and we should have. Because these tax laws, unless the new administration extends them, which there is a good chance that might happen, right. But we have to plan for the rules as they are right now, which is the end of next year. Take advantage of those opportunities if it has anything to do with you. I will say we've talked about the contributions and the importance of those, making sure you get as much tax benefits to reduce your taxable income in the given year. Mm-hmm. The timeline of those required minimum distributions also is really the first week of December. We set up most of our clients with automated so they don't have to worry about that. But if you forget or didn't know, it falls on you, the account holder, which there could be used to be a 50% penalty. Now it's still a hefty 25% penalty if you don't take it. Yes, you can ask for mercy or grace from the IRS, and anybody that's tried to do that probably didn't have a lot of fun. We've helped to some success do that, but how about we just adhere to the timelines, get it done, and hey, it's the end of the year. If you're a charitable person, now you don't give charitably for tax reasons, but we have clients that are very charitable. Maybe you don't need the RMDs on those IRAs. Qualified charitable distributions can be very, very beneficial to you and the recipient. Donor advised funds, maybe you had a big income year. Take advantage of a nice big hit to your taxes by doing a donor advised fund. And so take a big chunk of that to give to charities, at some point, but you can take the big hit this year. Mm-hmm. So really talking through these things, seeing what you can do, if anything, max out that HSA, do whatever you can to minimize your taxes and take advantage of maxing out these 12%, for sure, the 12% brackets. Making sure that if you're over the estate tax, which most people aren't federally, it's the state level. Minnesota, of course, is $3 million. So make sure. I just had a client in from Rosemount. They didn't have any estate planning done. They were married for years. She had no idea the size of the estate that her and her late husband had put together. Mm-hmm. There was a huge estate tax issue that could have been avoided or minimized to a large degree, and it's going to cost their estate several millions of dollars. Again, I'm not making this sound like this is only applicable to those that are very wealthy. Right. It's for anybody that has a little bit to a lot or anything in between. see what's applicable to you, what's not, and get the benefits out of whatever planning you should be doing.
What do you think is the biggest surprise for people when it comes to tax issues and tax planning? The thing that they don't think about, or the thing that comes on as a big surprise?
I think one top of mind is right now is because it's annual enrollment with Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the people don't know there's a two-year look back with it. And 2 years ago, there's a good chance they made a lot of money. And then all of a sudden they get 2 years into the future. And now they end up paying more for their Medicare, specifically Part B and D. The premiums are higher because they made too much money back 2 years ago because of the look back. Now, there are things you can do, and Glenn and Isabella do a great job. It's called the IRMA release. We help people fill that out and go to bat to get those premiums reduced. And a lot of people, when they plan for retirement, they just don't factor in how expensive health care and Medicare premiums and all that can be. Mm-hmm. So don't be the one that gets, just complacent with what the plan you have this year. Shop it out every year to make sure you're at the right place at the right time, because that's why we've been so busy this year is there's been a lot of Medicare changes many people are not aware of, but they will become aware of it come the first of the year if they didn't make the proper adjustments. Life and retirement are full of adjustments. The problem is most people don't do the adjusting until something negative happens.
Or don't know that they need to be doing the adjusting at all.
The old saying, Kim, what you don't know can hurt you. It might not physically hurt you, but it could hurt your pocketbook.
Certainly.
And the health care being provided, the doctors you might be able to see, all of those things. Again, not meant to scare or dishearten anybody, but it comes down to that education is the potential for power, more communication, spent with somebody that can help, or partner, for example, like us or somebody, can really pay dividends over long periods of time.
Let me ask you about that look back for just a second. In addition to the fact that maybe you were working and then you are retired, and that can certainly change your income flow. What if, we stop working and then we decide we're going to move or we're going to downsize, and then you make money on that home that you had for all those years? Is that also included in that number?
No, that isn't. That it's your modified adjusted gross income. That is the main number. I will say with real estate, one of the things on that first segment, if you're looking maybe next year to actually relocate, downsize, maybe those steps those knees just can't do those steps as well as they could before. That's another planning consideration that you might want to start earlier than later. I know we still have, I think 6.75%+ mortgage rates, and I found that there are some of these folks that are looking to downsize or one level living or kind of house locked because house prices are so stinking expensive still, and the rates being higher, and they can't find a place to replace the one they've been in for 30, 40 years. So they're just kind of stuck. But don't forget about real estate and maybe some future plans to move closer to those grandkids, which I see often. What made you move here to Minnesota from Florida or vice versa? The kids and the grandkids. So I hear it so often, and I get it. But again, real estate should also be part of the planning process.
Sure, absolutely. All right, 612-504-8400. That's a telephone number that you call, and you let them know that you've heard us here on the radio and that you'd like to set up a free consultation to come in, sit down with a member of the Haven Financial Group team, talk about some of these end of the year planning tips that we have been discussing here. If you already have a portfolio and you'd like somebody to look over it, they would be happy to do so. If you don't have one, now's the time to get started. 612-504-8400. It will cost you nothing. Set up that free consultation. And if you're interested in attending one of those teaching seminars, and there are a number of them on varied topics. You don't have to be a client, and they are free. They would just like for you to sign up. You can learn more about those at havenfinancialgroup.com. Go to havenfinancialgroup.com. They fill up very quickly. There's a couple more left this year. And then, of course, already some signups for some of those that are coming up after the first of the year. 2025, folks, it's just around the corner. And we're talking about planning for 2025 and beyond, and some of the things that you need to take care of before December 31st rolls around. When we come back, we're going to talk about estate planning and how important it is to start looking ahead when it comes to planning your estate and what Haven Financial Group can do to help you.